Hey guys, I'm back to chit chat with you some more. Today I thought I would talk a little bit about homeschooling year round and how we make that work for us. I'll also talk about how we do a 4-day school week and how we use looping to make sure we get everything done during those 4 days. We have been homeschooling year round for almost every year that we've homeschooled. I think the only year we took a summer off was my first year, and we didn't even really take a whole summer off. I just like to stay busy, and I like to be learning and teaching and having fun with my kiddos. I feel like we connect so much when we're doing school. That's like just what we do together. And so it's hard for me to take off from that sometimes, just because we're supposed to. I would rather take off from that time when we really need to. And so that is why we homeschool year round. So how we do that is that I will start before a new year begins. So you could go by grade level before that new grade level begins, or before that new curriculum's gonna start. Before that happens, I will sit down with my children and we will go around and talk about our goals for that year. So I have goals for them personally, and then I have goals that I want them to set for themselves. So once I have set their goals with their help, then that's when our kind of school year will begin. And I'll kind of know when to move on to the next school year when I feel that they have achieved those goals and they're ready to go on to the next grade, or when we finish that curriculum and it's time to go to the next. What I do plan-wise is I will plan for the required days that you will need. Generally that's 180 days. So I will write in my planner as I go, so like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll write what day that is for our year until I've got to 180, with the goal being that by the time we have done 180 learning days, formal learning, that we should have hopefully achieved the goals we set for that school year. Now, when I get to that 180-day mark, that does not mean we stop and take a break. That is just my little clue to evaluate and see where we are and make sure that we are on track. So once I've reached that 180-day mark, I will just kind of, stop and think and look at my goals that we set at the beginning and say, have we reached these? Have we surpassed these? Have we not even gotten close to these? Where do we need to go from here? Now, just because we reach that magical 180-day mark does not mean that we've finished the curriculum. It does not mean that we are ready to stop that grade. We might not be ready to stop that grade. It doesn't mean that we're done. We're going to take a 3-month break. It just means it's time for me to reevaluate where we are and what we need to do from there. And then for breaks, I don't plan breaks ahead of time unless I know something. Like, we all know Christmas is coming and Thanksgiving is coming and all that stuff. So yes, I can plan for that, but I don't plan a big 3-month break, because life happens. And when you have that freedom knowing I'm going to do school all year round, so hey, if something comes up and say a friend needs your help a certain day, or say a family crisis comes and you need to take 2 weeks off, you're not going to be super stressed out about it. You're not going to be trying to have your kids do work while you're too busy stressing about this, or they're too busy stressing about that and still trying to get that done. That just makes it stressful and hectic and takes out all the fun. And this learning thing is supposed to be fun, so I try to keep it that way. So that is how I plan for that. Because we are learning year round, we can take off breaks whenever we need to. And we're still going to get the work done, the same amount of work that everyone else is getting done. And honestly, we probably take more days off than what a public school gets out. But, it doesn't feel like it because it's so spread out. But we're never rushed and stressed and all that. I do like to be consistent as much as I can. I like to take breaks when I feel like it's okay to take it. I don't like to take breaks in the middle of learning something. That just, with my personality, it irks me. But life happens. So as long as I know that I have as many days as I need to do this school thing, I'm going to be okay. And then another thing we do is the 4-day school week. I have not always done it that way. I've gone back and forth on it, but I feel like it does work best because we school year round, we have that time to do that. And if we only do 4 days a week, then it means that, say, something came up on Wednesday and we had to leave the house early and go help somebody, go do something, maybe someone got sick. Well, I can go do those things and I can do them in peace and be relaxed about it because I know we're not falling behind because, hey, we have that Friday. So we have that Friday to just make up whatever got left out, whatever we fell behind on. And then on weeks when nothing came up that week and we were able to do school Monday through Thursday, every subject, then on Friday, we have an extra day off, right? So hello, field trips and library and play dates, or maybe a rest day, right? We're all going to stay very low key. We're all just going to read and journal and play outside. Maybe we need that extra day for cleaning. Maybe I need that extra day for planning. So by getting everything done in those 4 days, by planning everything to get done in those 4 days, it just really relaxes me the same way that schooling year round does. And if you have that peace, you're going to do things right more calmly. You're going to not feel rushed. And when we're rushing through things, we don't do them very well, right? Even with kids, hey, you did that chore too fast, so now you have to go back and redo it because it's not done the right way. So we do the same thing. If we're rushing through our school day, through our school year, we're not going to take the time that it needs and it deserves to be done right. So by doing it that way, I feel like I'm calm enough to be able to take that step back if I need to and say, I don't like the road we're going down with this book. I don't like the way this curriculum's doing this. Or maybe, hey, I don't like the way this morning is going. We're all grumpy. Or, we're all just real tired. Maybe we need to take the day and have a mental break day. And that happens, and that's important. So by doing those things, it just really opens up a lot of peace. It gives yourself some grace so that you can be the homeschooling mama that you want to be, that you've set out to be, right? We didn't set out to be rushed, grumpy messes, did we? We set out to have fun with our children, learn alongside them, and enjoy this thing together with them. So another way to not fall behind in the schooling year round, in the schooling 4 days a week, or just in general, even if you school, not year round, even if you just do the 180 days and then take a big break, even if you do it 5 days a week, looping will still help you. And by looping, what I mean is you set out all the subjects you want done that week, okay? So say on Monday, I really want to do science and writing and language arts. I really want to do and of course you're going to have math and reading, but these are these other subjects that are in my looping circle. We'll say science takes a long time. We decide to do an experiment. The kids are having a lot of fun. I don't want to stop it to make sure that we can also get in writing and language arts. It's just going to take me half the day because we're enjoying it or because we're struggling with it. Well, I'm going to allow myself the grace to do that, to have fun with it, or to sit there and do the extra work with my child. And I'm not going to stress because I have it looped, which means it's going to fall now. It's done. It falls to the bottom of the loop. So tomorrow when I start school, science is not going to be the first thing I do. Writing will be the first thing I do. And maybe that day is going really great and I get through writing and I get through language arts and I still have time for science. That's great. But maybe that day doesn't go as good. And maybe we get through writing and language arts and then, a kid throws up. Well, your day's over. So you didn't get back to that science. But it's okay because now your science is going to go back to the top of your loop. So when you resume school the next time, that'll be the first thing you handle. So in doing it that way, no subject can ever fall too far to the bottom of the list. And I mean, honestly, I'm sure if you're being honest, I'm going to be honest, there are times where you might have been so busy working really hard in certain subjects, or you're having something going on, in your home that needs your attention, and you might stop and say, oh, we didn't do history for 4 days, you guys. What have we done? Oh, so now I feel like we have to put everything else on pause and get caught up on history. Well, if you did that, if you put everything else on pause to get caught up on history, well, then everything else is 4 days behind. So in looping, nothing ever gets more than a day behind. And that is just, that is peace, right? It's okay. It's okay because it's going to happen tomorrow. There are many ways to do looping. I could do a whole video about it. You can incorporate your morning basket. I know a lot of people loop that morning basket, and then a lot of people just loop their regular curriculum. You can just loop your extracurricular stuff. So many ways, you guys, and we can talk about that in the comments. I can make a whole video just on that. But I feel like with those three things, with schooling year round, schooling 4 days a week, and looping, those are just 3 ways to give yourself and your children and your home some grace and some peace, knowing it's all going to get done. It's gonna be okay, right? We can take a breath, and we can also enjoy life. Because there's so much more to your day than the hours of your schooling, right? We like to have fun and do all kinds of activities, and that's great. But we also want to, walk the dog, go to the park, see friends, watch some documentaries, read some extra books, and then just life stuff. Teach your kids how to cook and clean, and there's so many things to do in the day. So I just feel like with adding those 3 things into your homeschool life, you are giving yourself the grace and the time and the peace to get all your other life done and not be rushed and stressed about it. Adding those 3 things to our homeschool life has sure done that for me. It really helps because I am a little OCD when it comes to planning and sticking to my plan. Oh, you guys, like I said earlier, some things just irk me. It irks me to get off plan. So the only way to save myself from being just an anxious little mess is to make that space in my life. Make that space. Give myself that space in my life. Make that my schedule. Make my schedule reflect what I need. I need the grace. I need the time. I want the time. I don't want to be a rushed mess. So anyway, I could blab all day long, couldn't I? But those 3 things just really helped me, and I wanted to share with you guys so that maybe it can help you. Maybe you're feeling rushed and stressed and pressured, and you don't feel like you have the time that you need to do other things in your life with your children, with your spouse, with yourself, with your friends, whatever it is. Try those 3 things and see if they help bring you some peace, Give yourself some grace because you deserve that, and see if it helps any. If you have any other ideas, any other tips to help me or maybe other mamas watching this and reading the comments, just drop those down below in the comments, because I know the more years we homeschool, the more tips that we start to have for other homeschool moms, and the more grace we learn we can give ourselves. So I'm sure there are even, more veteran moms than I am that can give some tips and some advice. But I hope these tips do help you. If they do, let me know. I would love to hear that I've helped your day out, and maybe, like I said, you can give me some tips and help my day out. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to jump on and say that. Now I have to go back inside and finish my homeschool day. And I'm glad that you guys came and watched and listened, and I hope you guys have a blessed week and a blessed homeschool year. If you haven't, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.